So we're getting back to work on the building. In the last episode, or part, I was showing you how to, showing you what to do about, creating the facade of the building, putting on the columns, the spacers, and punching out the windows. I showed you I had already finished one side, and then I was showing you how to do the other side, and this is what I have. Okay? So as you can see, it's column, and then spacers, and then a column, and spacers, and more columns and spacers. Some of the columns I, broke in half, or they're not completely there, or whatever. Like right on this one, there's like a break, and this one it's half missing. And wherever it's missing, I kind of just like tore out some of the building. So there's some damage there. Okay. After we glue it to the base, we're gonna rip out the bottom here, like where the doors would be. We're gonna blow those out, and any other floor, ground floor windows, we'll just blow out. Okay. So, but now we have to determine. Create a base, and so just get out some. Oh, jeez, never fail. What was that? Oh, okay. Well, thanks a lot. Go away. Alright. So, just get out some cereal card. This is a Pop-Tart box. And before you actually cut out a base, you want to think about exactly how your building would look if it was not destroyed, if it was a complete, building. Okay? Because you don't want to, it's not really that critical, because since it's half destroyed, nobody's really going to notice, but you don't want to have a base, or you don't want to, like, pretend your length of the building to be something where you're going to have two columns kind of pushed together at the end. So if we have a half-inch column here, and then we have quarter-inch columns all the way through, and then if we would imagine at the other wall, there would be another half-inch column. So we want to make sure that it's even in length, and so that way it would go column space, column space, column space, column space, and then the ending column, instead of column space, little 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 column, and then another big column. That wouldn't look right. Even though it's not going to be there, you kind of want to make the length as if it were going to be all architecturally correct. Okay? At least I think so. That's what I like to do. So you just kind of, alright, so what would it be? It would be a half and a half, and then, so, what is that? That'd be 1 inch, and then a second inch, and then, I don't know, I can't do this in my head right now, I'll have to put it down on paper. Anyway, after you figure that out, it's probably going to be something like 5 inches, or whatever, 4.5 inches. After you figure it out, you just pencil it in on your base, cut out the base, and then we paint it. Now when I did my original two buildings, I painted it with acrylic paints, which are wet. That caused the paper to warp. Alright? And I don't want to do that on this one. It's not so bad, it's just, I mean, you paint it with your acrylic paints, and then you have to put glue on it so you can glue on the base. And if you use white liquid glue, that's going to warp it even more. And then if you put white liquid glue so you can glue on the gravel, and that's what I did. And then I ended up with a building that was just kind of like, bended down. I mean, it's still, like, the pieces can stand on it, it's just kind of like they got to be put the right way. And it doesn't look, it's not terrible, but I want to avoid it for this one. So, especially if I'm showing you how to do it. I don't want to show you a mistake. Oh, God. Alright, I'm signing off for this damn thing. I don't want any more interruptions. So, I'm going to, after I cut out my base, I'm going to use spray paint. Rust-Oleum's Painter's Touch Primer Gray Spray Paint. Alright. So, I guess we can start this. Good. the black lines are where the building is gonna, the sides of the building are gonna follow. So the space occupied by the building is 4¼ inch, and the space that's not occupied by the building, the frame of this base, is 1/2 inch all the way around. So the entire base is 5¼ inch by 5¼ inch. Okay, so it's just gonna basically sit on like that. Oh, wait, like that, along the frame. Okay. So again, word-wise, using spray paints. Do it outdoors in a well-ventilated area, and have your gas mask, okay, or something. Okay. I have my one big window here. I'm just gonna basically open up the door, open up my big window. I should be doing outside, but I don't want to go outside. And I'm kind of being a jackass today. So I'm gonna open up my window, open up my door, basically spray this real quick, and walk out, and it'll be done. So let's do this. So I painted the base, and I glued on the building. Okay, so there it is, and it's okay. The spray paint didn't warp it, and it's holding on, so it's all glued up. Okay. Now when you mark it with your pen and then you spray paint, the spray paint shouldn't cover up all the pen mark. You should still be able to see a little bit left, and then just basically wherever you're going to put the building, just mark it just a little bit more with your pen, and then spray paint again if you need to cover up the rest of the base. So, and then wherever your pen mark is, just put glue over it, and then put the building on. But it's not warped, so that's good. So that's basically it so far. What I'm going to do in the next part, I'm not going to do anything right now. In fact, this took me 2 days to make. I've changed my shirt. This is the day after whatever the rest of the video was about. So we're going to basically create the floors now. It's just going to be out of more of this cereal card. I'm just going to basically rip out the shape you need. It's probably going to be like a triangle shape because of the corner. And just kind of glue them in there. So I will do that in another part. Thanks. See you then.